Good afternoon, trail hunters. Welcome back to another journey with me. Today we are tackling Verdugo Peak via the Vitalink Trailhead. This is the third trailhead that we are running through today of the Wildwood Canyon Park. So stick around and I'll show you the different sites that you could see. So this is a 2.3 mile hike to the top of Verdugo Peak, with about 2,200 feet in elevation gain, and the peak sitting around about 3,000 feet in elevation. Alright, making our way up into Wildwood Canyon Park, you'll come across this little checkpoint, and eventually this bathroom off to the left. There is parking conveniently next to it. This is actually the entrance to the third trailhead that leads up to Vitalink. It is about a quarter-mile hike up to Vitalink. Entering through the portal there, we're going to pass that bathroom on our left and continue up the trail. We'll see that it curves around, and there are some water tanks up ahead. And lucky for us, the views start opening up fairly quickly, and of course the higher you go up, the better the view. Just keep in mind, the third trailhead of this park, the grade is pretty brutal, but it does take you up there fairly quickly. Eventually you come across those stairs and you'll start to see the canyons and views opening up. And just in sight is the top of Vitalink, that radio tower there. There are certain sections where the grade tapers off and then it picks back up again. Make no mistake, this trail is all business and hardly any play until you reach the top of the peak. For future reference, that is the hilltop of Wildwood Canyon Park, which is connected to the fourth trailhead. We'll actually be using that as our exit on our descent. There are some rocky patches, so be sure to wear some decent shoes. The trail is all fairly straightforward with some switchbacks. You'll eventually come across this junction. I would highly recommend you avoid that left lane over there and take the right. If you do decide to take the left trail, just be prepared for unkept terrain and sketchy patches. These are some images from last year. I don't know if there's been an improvement since, but to avoid that tricky part, just take the right. There's a much easier switchback and you avoid that mess right there. Alright, so coming out of that switchback, you're going to see this cool rock. Someone did some rock pilings on it earlier. Decided to add to it, but keep this rock in mind on our descent. We're going to use that to pivot back into that switchback so we can avoid that mess, as stated earlier. So taking a quick water break, I decided to check my inventory. I have with me a trash bag to pack any trash I find out on the trail, a small quart of water, nuts, and suntan lotion. I did find some trash on the trail and was sure to pack it up and take it off the trail with me. Now you can see the top of Vitalink is now just in sight. And you can see Verdugo Peak just there off to the right. Alright, so reaching the top of Vital Link, I'll usually take a right here and continue straight towards the Verdugo Peak. But I'd like to take this opportunity to rewind and talk about some of the things that you can see if you take a left is the Willie Man Memorial Chair, which honors a local hiker named Willie, known for encouraging anyone grinding up the brutal climb. Reaching the chair means you've beaten the steepest part of Vital Link. Past the radio tower on the top of Vital Link, our journey continues east up the mountain range. We're going to take this path down and come to what's called the Plantation Lateral. Residing near it is the Tree of Life. This is a lone coastal live oak perched on a quiet Verdugo ridge. It's believed to have survived multiple wildfires. Standing here is a symbol of resilience and renewal. Hikers leave stones and messages at its base, turning into a small shrine overlooking the valley. Pushing past that point, we're going to pass a second radio tower and eventually coming up to the ridge where Verdugo Peak lies. It's pretty much choose your adventure at this point. I decided to drudge through the weeds and make it to the top. Of course, don't forget to take your pictures and get a well-deserved rest. Soak in the views and pull out some snacks. Alright, when you are all finished up, don't forget to check out the opposite side of the Verdugo range. There's a little cutaway trail here that I took. Off in the distance, that's Mount Lukens, and there is Mount Wilson. We are making our descent. Couple things to note. That loud sound right now, I believe, was a gunshot. There is, I believe it's some type of police academy or training just down below. Maybe a shooting range. If you're anything like me, I just want the trail to be over. So I'm gonna actually take this left path here, and you'll see a little kind of flats over there. That'll actually take you down to what's called the number 4 Wild Canyon Park Trailhead, and that's going to take us the quickest way out. Okay, we've just exited the fourth trailhead of Wildwood Canyon Trail, and we are making our way back down to the parking. So we just made our way from that path, and we are back at our starting position, and it is time to go home.